haven't done a video in a while. Again, I know you guys, I told you to just patiently wait. We got some good stuff coming up. Some surprises. I actually went the other day to pick up a surprise. Now, I really wanted to give you a detailed, kind of overview photo of it. Of what's going on, video. But seeing how this is grass cutting season, every time I go out to try to film in the yard, there's somebody cutting the grass. So what I'll do for this one is basically you will see, and I'll just do a voiceover, and you'll still get the same effect. All right, guys, we are out here in the front of the house in the yard. I'm still kind of tired from the ordeal that I ended up going through this past weekend. And I'm going to tell you about that, and then we're going to have the big reveal. So let's get busy. Okay, guys, we had a real ordeal from it started last, I would say about midway through last week. I have been wanting to get another vehicle, something that I could work on from time to time. Something that I could build up during my upcoming retirement in the next couple of years. And if you've been on the channel or followed the channel for any length of time, you know that we've gone here before. And it all started, this channel, really the main character for the beginning of this channel was the 2021 Mach 1. And we had a great time with the Mach 1. If you want to see those videos, certainly subscribe, like, comment. Those videos are early on in the game. But in the midst of that, we got the Maverick. That was probably the more attributing to the Maverick content to the success of this channel. I mean, the Maverick stuff really blew up this channel and made it relevant. And I appreciate that with the Maverick. But at the end of the day, there's a million people out there doing Maverick videos now, and I understand that. Thank God for all of you guys who have tuned in through the channel throughout that whole process. But if you've been around for any length of time, you know that after we sold the Mach 1, we end up buying a 66 Ford Fairlane. Great car. I bought it to do a rest of my project, but I bought too nice a car for me to, I won't say butcher it, but it was just too original. It was so original that I really didn't want to mess with it. And I ended up selling it to a gentleman who wanted to keep it pretty much stock. As a matter of fact, I sold it to him with the stock wheels and hubcaps on it. And he is enjoying it. This guy drove all the way down here flew on a flight from Connecticut all the way down here to Virginia, looked at the car, paid for the car, then had it shipped back to Connecticut. And yeah, so from that time on, I've had the boat in there. We've been doing stuff with the boat. I put the boat together. I planned on doing some footage in the boat. Every time I've tried to get out in that boat, it has not worked out. With all the responsibilities I have at the church here and with my parents, I didn't get to go fishing. I've had that boat for probably a year and a half, and I probably went fishing maybe six, 7 times in a year and a half. And to me, that's just a waste of time. So that's where we are picking up today, and we have acquired a new vehicle. But before we get to that, there's a story behind it. So let me try to make this story as short as possible. Last week, I found a particular kind of car, the kind of car I was looking for. I've been shopping on all types of media, whether it's cars.com, car gurus, all the local stuff, Facebook Marketplace, all the different sites, all of the different forums. I've been shopping for this particular kind of car. So last week, I found the car that I want. A guy just posted it on social media. I went, called the man, told him, hey, can I come by and look at the car today? I went there. It took me 35 minutes to get there. I get there. The guy says, you're the first person that I saw on my thing, so I contacted you. And he shows me the car. They had pulled it out of a barn. It was looking pretty good. It wasn't the exact kind of car that I wanted, but it was very, very close. But it was a very, very good deal. We shook on it. And then from there on, the deal went sour. I asked the guy, hey, he tells me he does this for a living. He has all kinds of trailers, stuff that he hauls cars with. I said, hey, this is the price we're going to agree on. I'm shaking with you. Is there any way that you can take this car from 30 minutes away and drop it off at my house at that price? He said, oh, yeah, sure. No problem. I can certainly do that for you. Next day, I'm going to the bank, credit union, whatever it is, to get the money. That's when the deal started going wrong. I called him up. Well, we didn't really talk on the phone because when people message you, they can get away with saying some things that they wouldn't say to your face. I'll say that. I messaged him, say, hey, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get to the bank. And I get off at 4 o'clock. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get to the bank and get to you because the bank closes at 5. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get over there in time. I'm on my way there now, but in case I don't, can we do this tomorrow? He hits me back. Well, if you can't get this done today or tomorrow, then maybe I need to look for another buyer. What has happened? Where was the guy that shook my hand and was so very professional in his dealings with me, and we had a good rapport, and I talked with him and everything. We talked about all types of things, cars and whatnot. But by the next day, that guy was gone. And I can tell you what happened. You've heard of buyer's remorse. Sometimes there is seller's remorse. And if you don't have the money sometimes with you on that day, and that's another thing we're going to learn about this whole ordeal, you need to make the deal that day. Take the thing off the premises, pay the person, get the title that day, because sometimes in the market that we're in right now, the person who has made a deal with you for you to bring the money the next day, all of a sudden starts getting a whole bunch of calls for that same vehicle that you've made this spectacular deal with. And then they're having seller's remorse because they realize, oh, with all these people contacting me now, I think I can get more money. So I'm going to do what I can to sabotage this deal because I want this car to sell for the price or more than what I put it up for sale for. Because now I'm not satisfied because I could have gotten more money. Haven't we all sold something sometimes think, well, maybe I could have got more money, but dignity and honor kicks in for some of us and says, you know what? I probably could, but I've already made a deal. Well, this guy says to me, if you can't do the deal today, then maybe I need to get another buyer. So I hit him back and say, hey, I'm on my way right now to get a certified check from the bank. The reason that I messaged you was in case I couldn't get there and get the money and get back to you, because I get off at 4, the place closes at 5. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get me in there and get me out in time. He hits me back and says this. Well, just to let you know, I don't take certified checks. I only deal in cash. And at that point, I knew that the person that I made the deal with was a person that I would never deal with. And I told him, well, sir, thank you for your time. Good luck on selling your car. And that was the last thing. And guess what he hit me back with? He was happy then because now he's going to be able to try to sell his car to all those other people who were looking at it for the amount that he wanted to sell it for after he already made a deal with me at the price that we had agreed upon. He says, yep, thanks. Have a great day. I was a little bit irritated, but I'm like this. When a deal is made to be done, I always say this in everything. Pray, God will make a way. If it was meant to be, it was meant to be. And I had to eat those words later on in the week, and let me tell you what happened. So I made up my mind. I'm not going to buy this car. I'm not going to buy a car at all. But now I have the money to get the car. I've already made some arrangements. In the meantime, the boat that you guys have seen in the garage with the trailer was on for sale on Facebook Marketplace. a great couple who was buying this boat for the lady's son and the guy who came. It was his grandson. They were buying it as a graduation present. At this point, we were up to almost up to the weekend. So she's hitting me back and forth, asking me about the boat, blah, 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 blah. In the midst of all that, I found another car. And it's actually better than the first one. See how God works? It was better than the first one, and it was for less than half the money that I was going to spend on the first car. Only problem is the car is in Virginia Beach. So I hit the guy up. Hey, ask him a few questions. I try to do all of the questions. When I got to go out of town to look at the car, I need to know some things before I get on the road because I don't want to get there and be disappointed. So I got on the phone, talked to the guy, got in the car right as I got off from work, and I told him I was on my way. I live in Virginia, Fredericksburg. The car was in Virginia Beach. And anybody knows that on a Friday evening, it's next to impossible to get anywhere fast. So yes, we got caught. Or I shouldn't say we, because it was just me. I had to get down there quick because I wanted to make a deal, blah, blah, blah. And all these deals that I've made with people here of late, all the young people always tell me I'm too old. I'm old in my thinking. Use your Cash App. Don't bring cash with you. That's what Cash App is for. We have Cash App on our phones. So I have Cash App on my phone now. So I'm going down there to strike a deal on this other car in Virginia Beach. We get down to Virginia Beach. Me, myself, and I. The car is exactly what I was looking for to begin with. Has everything that I wanted on it. It's in about the condition that I was willing to purchase, and it's for an excellent price. So I tell the guy, hey, this is the car I want. Give me your Cash App information, and I will zip you the cash right now, and we're done. And I'll come pick it up probably Sunday evening. He's like, oh, I don't have any of those apps on my phone. Now, this is a young guy, so it kind of blew me away. I did offer to go to an ATM, get some money, leave a deposit. He wasn't comfortable with that, and that's perfectly fine. I was a little bit bent out of shape for a minute because I wanted a car. But he says to me, in the words that I just said to you all, if it was meant to be, it will be. So I'm now in Virginia Beach. I've seen the car that I want. It's the price that I want, and I can't get that car because I don't have cash money on me. So now what are we going to do? So I get back in the car. I'm kind of irritated trying to figure out how am I going to get down here to get this car tomorrow, which I can't because the next day is Saturday. I'm already made arrangements and plans to be in West Virginia at my grandson's birthday party, which I promise you is worth more than any car. So I ate those words. If it was meant to be, it will be. So I told the guy, hey, I'm going Saturday morning because I'm meeting the people. They're coming to pick up the boat. The lady's like, she's so excited. She comes. I told her where I lived at. She's coming from North Carolina, driving 5 hours. We're going to be at my house at 8 o'clock in the morning. I've got to be there. Then, as soon as I strike this deal with them, I'm getting in the car and I'm driving to West Virginia to my grandson's second birthday party. So I'm excited, yet a little bit, road weary. So the lady comes. The lady with her father, they look at the boat. It was a great deal. I made them a great deal on that boat, and I have bought that same boat, and I told her this too. I have bought that same boat 4 times, and every time I buy one of those boats, it costs me at least $100 to $200 more the next time I buy it. But every time I buy it, I come to the same conclusion that I don't have a whole day to fish, and I still don't. So they took the boat, loaded it up, they're gone. We get in the car, we go to West Virginia. I'm thinking, okay, I have the money. I'm at my grandson's birthday. I'm going Sunday to pick up, after church, to pick up the car. So I'm texting the guy back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He says, what time are you going to come Sunday? I said, well, I am a minister and I'll come as soon as I get out of church. Usually get out of church around 12. Given traffic, it'll probably be 3 o'clock when I get there. Oh, I have somebody else coming to look at the car around about 10 o'clock on Sunday. So now, here's my dilemma. Am I going to let the car get away? Potentially. Because somebody's going to beat me with the money and pay for the car on Sunday morning, and then I miss out on getting a car. Or here's the other alternative. At 3:30, after the birthday party is just about over, am I going to get in that car, drive from West Virginia back here, drop my mom off, me and my wife stay in the car, and drive all the way to Virginia Beach again and pay for the car? Now, the car is in the garage, so you know what I did. I drove from West Virginia to Virginia, dropped my mom off, drove to Virginia Beach, paid him. He was happy. I was happy. Signed the title, and then drove from Virginia Beach back here to my house. The whole time I'm coming back, I'm trying to make arrangements because now we are dealing with, what are we going to do Sunday? How can I get the car? What are going to be my arrangements? So I texted my brother, talked to him on the way back. I said, hey, I got the car. I said, but now I got to figure out how I'm going to get the car back here because there was no way to make arrangements on a weekend. I called a few people I know, we don't do it on Sunday, blah, blah, blah. And I get that. I understand it completely. But some kind of way, I got to figure out how to get my car back. In the midst of all of that, my brother, his son, used to do some car recovery and towing and all those type things. And I didn't know, so I hit those places up that will haul your cars and all that stuff. And since then, I've probably had no less than 100 calls from brokers who are trying to bring my car from Virginia Beach to here, and I stop answering my phone, and it has so many messages on it. It's taken me forever to clear them out. But make a long story short, my nephew had went and got one of his friends enclosed trailer, and he says, Uncle Carl, I was going to go get your car for you. And I was telling him, well, it's not that much. I figured out, how much it would be. I said I wasn't going to pay, but so much to get it done. He says, well, I just, even if we just did gas money, I was just doing it because I wanted you to get your car. And I thought that was a very honorable thing. So what I decided to do, I'm going to pay my nephew. But here's the kicker. We get to go. I get to go after church on Sunday back down to Virginia Beach again in traffic that is worse than Friday evening traffic, Sunday afternoon traffic. So he comes here, picks me up. We get down there. It was not without adventure. And I'm not going through all the details because it's too much. It's too much. But I will share one detail. On the way back from picking the car up, anybody knows where Virginia Beach is, knows you got to go through that tunnel. On the way back towards Virginia, towards my house, we got through the tunnel, and the trailer ends up with a flat tire. And we are sitting on the side of the highway at about 6:30 on a Sunday afternoon. And I'm thinking to myself, I have been to Virginia Beach 3 times in the last 2 days. I have been to West Virginia and back. And now I'm tired. I'm on the side of the road and I have no clue as to what we're going to do. So we called as many people we could. The only thing we could do is a double axle trailer. We limped off the highway, put the car, took it to, we stopped at this little Fast Mart convenience store gas station place, and they said we could leave the trailer there if need be until 2 o'clock on Monday. We immediately get back in the truck, my nephew driving, and we go to the Walmart. We try to buy a tire and wheel for the trailer, but they did not have the size. So now we are headed back to Virginia without the car. It's sitting in an enclosed trailer in front of a Fast Mart 2 hours from home. So what are we going to do? So I said, okay. I told my nephew, okay, well, we'll just have to come down, get a wheel and tire. I'll have to call out Monday from work, and we'll just have to go down and get the trailer on Monday. Now, I had taken off Saturday from my job. They allowed me to take off that day. I told them I'm going to my grandson's birthday. Sunday is my day off. Monday, I'm supposed to be at work because Tuesday, which is today, I'm off. I don't do that. There's nothing, respect is something that you get, is something that you earn. And if I put in to get off on Saturday, and you grant that in a time when leave is scarce where I work at, you can't just put in leave. Everybody just doesn't get leave this time of year because it's prime time leave for postal workers. So I get on my phone and hey, told my nephew, I'm going to send you some more funds. I can't get off to go, and he had said he was going to go. He was going to go back down that night if he could have. He says he would go pick up the trailer the next morning after he got a wheel and tire, and then bring it back. So that's what happened. I went to work. He went down. He texted me the whole time, and he went from here in Virginia down just almost to Virginia Beach, picked up the trailer, brought the car. He didn't stop here. He had to go straight to work because he had a job as well, and that's very respectable. And I thank God for my nephew, because without him, I don't know, some of the carriers that I hear all kinds of nightmare stories about people supposing to get their cars, and the carrier takes off with the car and nobody knows where the car is, and they got the car and the money that you've already paid them ahead of getting the car. So all kinds of stories out here. And as many people as hit me up, I'm like, good gracious, what a fiasco. But that's all the drama that I have concerning the car, because the car is out here in the garage. And without further ado, let's go out to the garage and see what I have bought.